How's it going, everybody? EastPhilly here. Heading to Harbor Freight to pick up some tools and bits I need for another video coming up that me and TikTok are going to do. So decided to go for a ride. Today's my 5-year anniversary with my fiance. Dating for 5 years now. So I'm going for a little ride before I get back and have to get all spiffed up for us to go out. So should be a good day overall. Get to ride a bit, get to play with, I was gonna sound bad, I was gonna say get to play with man tools. That's not a good way to say that. So anyway, I'm gonna head up there, gonna get all this stuff done, gonna close my chin vent real quick because it's cold. There we go. And it's gonna be a good day. Ladies, how you doing? So someone asked me for the first time. It's not the first time I've heard the question, but it's the first time I've been asked. Not what's a good beginner's bike, but if my bike was a good beginner's bike. And I told the guy pretty much what I would tell anybody else, that it's really about the person riding the bike. Any bike can be a beginner's bike. There's no one bike suited for every beginner, because it all depends on really how you're beginning. If you've driven motocross your whole life as a kid and you're just looking for a street bike in any type of form, then you're not really a beginner. You know how to shift, you know how to control the bike, you know how to do this and that. It's not really, you're not really looking for a beginner's bike, you're just looking for a good first street bike. This guy said he's never driven a motorcycle before, he's interested in them, he thinks they're cool. He seemed like a timid guy, but obviously you don't really know about someone until you've spent time with them. He just saw me at the gym, he saw me getting on my bike, and he asked me, hey, is that, well, he said, oh, that's a 700, that's probably not a good beginner's bike. And I said, well, it really depends on you. He said he's never rode before, he's interested in it and all. I said, that's not what I mean. What I mean is that if you're getting a motorcycle for the idea of, oh, they're fast, they're cool, I'll be able to go super fast and have fun, then you probably don't want to start on something like the FZ07, where it's going to be fast, it's going to be torquey, you're going to be able to wheelie it pretty easily, you're going to be able to do whatever you want on this bike pretty much. I think a great beginner's bike for anybody starting would be the CB500 series. There's the CBR 500, CB500F, CB500X, whatever that one is, or even the NC700 series. Both of those bikes are actually pretty tame for their engine size. They're not very torquey. They're not very super high rev, ultra power band type of bikes. But they give you enough power that you won't really outgrow it too quickly. They give you enough position that it feels like you could transition to any other bike pretty easily. They're just an all-around neutral bike. Of course you can wheelie them if you really want it. Of course you're going to be able to go pretty fast on them if you really want it. But they're not a bike that screams, oh, you give it a little bit of throttle and it's taking off. Back when I was first getting into motorcycles and thinking, wow, I really want one, I was watching I Am Ramekin videos, and I was looking at bikes, and I was looking at what's a good price, and honestly I was going to buy the NC700 after a few years after it was out, because it seemed like a bike that people would start on and depending on the person, probably get tired of, because it's kind of like a half of a car engine. Everyone said it's like low down torque. The power band's pretty low. You're going to shift early. People were saying, oh, it's not going to be a great bike because you're shifting early and all the power's down low. You're not going to have any fun on it. And I had fun on the CB300. That was the same type of thing. You're shifting all the time. You really get to learn the bike. You get to learn how to ride. The NC700 would have been a perfect bike for me to start on, because it would have gave me enough power to like tour around on it. You can ride around. You won't lack speed. It's not like you're going to be going crazy thinking, oh, I need to shift again on the highway like the 300 was. It would have been fine for me, but it was a little expensive. Not expensive, but the insurance was high until I really found out about getting different types of insurances. The CB500, people recommended me that over the CB300, and I was going to get that, but again, it was the insurance at the time. I was going to get this bike, but the insurance was pretty bad, and I think the way I learned on the 300, I would have learned this bike pretty fine, other than probably wheeling it a little bit. But it all depends on you. I'm adult enough to know that I need to spend some time riding and figuring out a bike before I kind of mess around with it. I think I had a lot of fun on the CB300 for the 2 years that I had it. I really only got to ride it for 1.5 because of injuries and that engine recall. But with how small it was, you saw my ride to the Grommunist. He was on his Grom and I was on the 300. We were having a ton of fun. I think I'd have a lot of fun on a Grom too, and I'd probably ride that more than I ride this bike because of how good it is on gas for commuting. I'd be riding it to work every day, and then coming home and grabbing this bike and going out on this bike if I wanted to do longer rides or kind of just mess around with some stuff. But I'd be doing the same thing on the Grom as the 300, taking it in trails, riding around, fooling around. I'd probably put some like crash gear on it and try to learn some stunt type of stuff. Nothing huge, probably just like better wheelies and stuff like that. You can learn wheelies on a Grom. You can wheelie anything pretty much. But that's just my opinion. It really depends on you. Someone like me or 77 TikTok, the way that I think he rides. Either one of us, his first bike was the FR6, FJ6, whatever his is. I don't really know exactly what his is, but that's considered a pretty fast bike. It's more of a sport tour type of bike, but his is kind of a bigger bike, and then he jumped to the FJ1. That's a leader bike. Yeah, if it's your first bike and you feel like you need to learn how to respect the bike, then I'd say go for something like the CB500 series, the NC700 series, if you think you're going to be going for longer rides, or you want that little bit of extra room to kind of push the bike. Or if you think you can have fun on a small bike, the CB300 was fine. Though, if you can push it, I'd say go for the KTM 390. I think that'll give you a little bit more in general. It'll give you that little bit extra torque, so you can really feel like what bigger bikes would feel like as you're revving. And you get a little bit extra speed out of it. It'll make the highways a little bit more comfortable. I think there's more aftermarket available for it. And if you have to get like a super big bike, if you know you want to do something, maybe look at like the sport touring series types of bikes, like the FJ6, something like that, or even something like in the XSR 700 or 900 series, where it's that cafe racer type of thing. I think it uses the same type of engine as this. It's like a sporty type of bike, but it's in a half cruisery type of frame, more of like a standard. I think you might get in less trouble with that in terms of like popping wheelies and stuff. It's not really made for that as much as these are. But again, it all depends on you and who you are and how you ride and how you expect to ride. Well, that's it for this video, everybody. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to give it a like, if you dislike it, give it a dislike. If you did dislike it, that's okay, but please let me know in the comments why, so I can make this channel better for both you and me. This video is not sponsored by Harbor Freight, and I'll see you all next time.